Oh, hello everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Stats. I'm your host Isaac, and today we will be picking the Week 2 games, or at least 15 of the 16 games, because Packers and Commanders already played. A little bit more one-sided than I thought it was going to be. Dang, Packers are good, man. Like, their defense is tough, and yeah, Washington, had a couple problems. Dane Daniels didn't look the greatest he's looked, and now with Eckler out, who I think was their leading rusher, that's gonna hurt. And I mean, hey, Deebo Samuel's still doing good at least, so that's cool. Anyway, so we're going to go through the 15 games. I think I'm going to save my little extra bit, my extra weekly bit, for a different video. I'm just gonna doing picking the games in this one, so this will be more of a shorter part probably. But we'll start with the Giants and the Cowboys. So my prediction for this one, I'm going to go with Dallas. I think they put a decent showing on the Eagles, at least in the first half, and the Giants are just not a very good team. Until they start Jackson Dart, I don't think I'm going to pick them to win any game probably, unless they have unless they're going up against a super bad offense in which they can do really good at pass rush and just sack the quarterback a million times with a super bad O-line as well. But I don't think Dallas' O-line is that bad. I don't think their offense is that inept. If they're going to win, they're going to win on the defense. New York would. But, yeah, I don't know. I think the offense of Dallas is good enough that they'll be able to score enough points to win. And I don't think New York's going to come away with a very good one in this one. They still have yet to score a touchdown, I believe. I think they scored 6 points. It must have been 2 field goals, surely, right? I think it was. But yeah. So I don't know. Don't have a lot of faith in New York right now, so I'm going to pick Dallas to go 1-1. Okay, next we have Seattle and Pittsburgh. This is one of the more interesting games of the week because I think Pittsburgh was a team that exceeded expectations and Seattle kind of disappointed a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm going to pick Pittsburgh on this one. I think if Aaron Rodgers can continue to do good on offense, I don't think they'll have quite as good of an offensive performance as they did last time because Seattle's secondary is pretty solid. But ultimately, the Pittsburgh defense is still great, and I don't know if Sam Darnold has what it takes to get through it. So I'm going to pick, a lower scoring game, but I think Pittsburgh is going to be the winners on this one. Next, we have Rams and Titans. I'm going to go with Rams here. Both of these teams didn't score a ton in the last game, but Rams were facing the Texans defense, and Tennessee was facing the Broncos defense. So both of them will get a slightly easier defense than they had last week to go up against. So I think it'll be more of a high-scoring game than we saw last week from these two. I think they'll both score around the 20s range, but I'll go with the Rams to win. Yeah, ultimately, I don't think Tennessee's improved enough other than Cam Ward. And, Cam Ward's going to be decent, but, I don't know. I think for now, I'm going to pick the Rams to win this one. Next, we have Buffalo and the Jets. The Jets did better than I thought they were going to do last week. I'll give them credit. I think they will be a decent team, but Buffalo's too good right now. Josh Allen's insane. They're a top 2 team in the league, maybe even top 1, so Buffalo's going to win this one for sure. I mean, they have enough receivers that it's not like they have a good top receiver who's going to get locked down by Sauce Gardner. So I think their pass game will be fine. I think their run game will be fine. I think their defense, while a bit questionable, it's not facing the Ravens this week. So I think they'll have a much easier time and they'll win this one. Next, New England, Miami. I don't know. After what Miami did last week, I don't have faith in them. I'm going New England on this one. New England probably could have won the game against the Raiders, but they didn't. I do think their offense is going to be a little bit better than it was last week. Trevion Henderson is going to come back and be pretty good. And then obviously Drake May is going to have a feast with the Miami's pass defense because it does not look great. Yeah, New England's going to win this one. I think by multiple scores too, probably. Next, Jacksonville and Cincinnati. This is going to be my controversial pick of the week. I'm picking Jacksonville. Cincinnati only beat the Browns by 1. I'm kind of shaky on them right now, as it is. If Travis Hunter can... I heard he's getting more reps on defense, so hopefully that'll be cool. But, hopefully he and BTJ and their other offensive weapons can get involved. I know they don't have Tank Bigsby anymore because they traded him to the Eagles or something. But, they still got ETN. He's still solid. I think their offense is good enough, even with Trevor Lawrence at the helm. It's good enough that it'll be able to score a decent amount of points on Cincinnati's defense. I do think Cincinnati's offense will be better than they were last week because they're kind of rough. So I think this will be a close one. It's really going to depend, I think, on Jacksonville's defense. If Jacksonville can do a good job on defense limiting points, then they'll be good. But I think if they don't, then it'll be a rough one. But overall, I don't really believe in Cincinnati's O-line too much. They haven't had a good O-line in years. And Jacksonville's got a pretty good pass rush with the best Josh Allen in the league, you know. Yeah, I'm going to pick Jacksonville in a close one. That's my upset pick of the week. Next, San Francisco, New Orleans. This one, I mean, we don't have to think about this much. I know Brock Purdy's not going to play, but I don't think Kittle is either. So there's a lot of injuries for San Francisco, just like there has been the last million years. But I still think they're going to beat New Orleans. Come on, the Saints are not great. But in the future, though, I might not be picking San Francisco as much because of those injuries. So we'll see. Next, Cleveland, Baltimore. Again, Cleveland's not good. Baltimore looked great, even though they lost. I'm picking Baltimore for this one by multi-scores for sure. Yeah, not much to explain for that one. Chicago and Detroit, the two NFC North teams that lost last time, so they're having two of their division games right away. And I'm going to pick Detroit on this one. I think their offense is going to get back into more of a rhythm. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. I think Ben Johnson had more of an effect than we think on the Lions offense. Dan Campbell has an effect too, but Ben Johnson was the orchestrator of a lot of it for sure. It'll be a close one. I think Chicago's a good team, but I'm going to pick Detroit for this one. I think Jahmyr Gibbs will have a bounce back game is the biggest thing for me. Then we have Denver and Indianapolis. This is a weird one. I don't think Bo Nix is going to throw 2 picks this time. I think he'll do better than he did last week. The Colts' defense is fine. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever. So it's going to come down to them limiting. I know the Broncos' defense is going to be good. And ultimately, the Colts still have Indiana Jones. So I'm going to pick the Broncos here. I think they will get it and move up to 2-0. Next, Carolina and Arizona. Based on Carolina's performance last week, I think I'm going to pick the Cardinals in this one. This could be a battle of two not very good teams, who makes the least mistakes. I don't know. I don't love Arizona's performance last week. They only beat the Saints by 1 score, but I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to continue to do solidly. Carolina does have a decent pass defense. I know they got J.C. Horn, but the rest of their defense isn't great. So I'm going to pick Arizona, especially with James Conner and everything. I think they have a pretty good shot to do well offensively for sure. Next, Philadelphia and my Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be a rough one. I do think the Chiefs can win. There is a possibility that they can win. I think they are going to perform better than they did last week, especially on defense. I think that the players aren't going to make the same mistakes. I think Spags will divide things up more. Now the thing is, even though they might play better, they are facing a better offense, so they might look just as bad. The offense, I do think, is going to be a bit better because losing Worthy on the third play of the game kind of ruined their schemes. I think the offensive difference between Chargers and Philadelphia is bigger than the defensive difference. Jalen Carter is going to be a problem. Hopefully, the O-line will be able to take him. But I am going to pick Philadelphia here in a 1-score game. I think it'll be closer than the Super Bowl. It'll be closer than people suspect, but I'm going to go Philadelphia winning by 1 score. So Chiefs fall to 0-2. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully Worthy's back week 3 because they said his injury progress is being actually really good. That'll be cool. Next. Atlanta and Minnesota. This is another one where I've heard a lot of people picking Atlanta to win this one. I don't know. I feel like Atlanta's the sort of team that if they don't get momentum, they're not going to do great. So I'm going to pick Minnesota here. Minnesota is at home. They'll have the home field advantage. I know it's a big one. The only NFL stadium I've been in since it's the closest one to like where I live. It's quite interesting in there. I haven't been there during like an actual like Vikings game, but I've been in the stadium. There's the audio, like the home field advantage for the Vikings is one of the biggest in all of sports for sure. Atlanta is gonna have a rough time. I think Bijan is going to be the key for Atlanta if they want to win. The Vikings defense, I think Blake Cashman might be out because I know he was injured in the last like game, so that might be something that they can get around. But I think the Vikings are going to win this one in a close one. Atlanta could win. This is probably the pick I'm least confident about, other than maybe Jacksonville, Cincinnati, but I'll go with Minnesota on this one. Next, we got Tampa Bay and Houston. This is a tough one as well. I would say momentum and go with Tampa Bay. And you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick Tampa Bay for this one. I think the need for momentum is big, and Houston only scoring 9 points last week, like, not the best. And Tampa Bay's defense is okay, but their offense is where they're really going to shine. That the Tampa Bay offense against the Houston defense is going to be an interesting matchup because Houston defense is good. The Rams have a pretty good pass offense, like with Puka, with what's his name, Devontae Adams. Houston was able to limit them like a little bit, or at least they were able to limit Adams. Puka still had a pretty good game, but I think it's going to be a similar game to last week. I'm going to say it's a lower scoring one, but I think it's going to have a similar outcome to last week as well for Houston. I think it might be a little closer score-wise. Like maybe instead of like 5 points, it'll be like 3 or something. I don't know. But definitely within a one-score game, I'm thinking here, but I'm going to pick Tampa Bay. Next, Los Angeles Chargers and Las Vegas Raiders, last game of the week. This is a divisional game, so it can always get weird. I do think Herbert had a career game last week against the Chiefs. Yeah, their defense didn't look great, but Herbert did. I just don't think Las Vegas's defense is going to be good enough to contain the offense of the Chargers. I think Genty will have a decent game, but overall, like, I don't know. I don't think the Raiders are going to be able to win this one. I still think they're going to get fourth in the division, no matter what happens. Did start 1-0, so good for them, but they were facing the Patriots without their top corner as well, so that like helped their offense a lot. And now Los Angeles has one of the best safeties in the league. Defense played great last game. I'm going to go with the Chargers to win this one. So there is my picks for week 2 games, 15 out of the 16, because I already picked the last one. Well, I'm 1-0 for this week, so that's good. But yeah, I might post another video later today or maybe tomorrow with like a little surprise, like extra thing, depending on what it is. If I come up with an idea, I'll put it in like the description of the video or something, like what the next part's going to be. If I don't, then I'll just say like episode 4 coming soon, or this is episode 5 coming soon, what have you. But yeah, I'll see you guys for that one. If I don't make that one, then the next video will just be the review video again with the power rankings and game rankings, and that'll be on Tuesday. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this part of Beyond the Stats, and I will see you guys next time.